Hello, and welcome to episode 157 of Nintendo Therapy, the show about the latest news and rumors, plus a celebration of all things Nintendo. My name is Harrison, and joining me this week is Kevin
Hello.
and Sean.
Hi.
And Kevin, I'm going to turn it
Okay,
over
good.
to you today because you have the order, and you can start us off for today. I have no small talk, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're gonna keep on going with Year of the Backlog. I am clearing out that backlog by continuing to play the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1, which Volume 2, I guess, has been confirmed in the mix, so that's gonna be good. They're saying it's probably gonna be Metal Gear Solid 4 and the PSP games, which is great because Metal Gear Solid 4 is trapped on the PlayStation 3 right now, so it'd be great for that game to get another life. But neither here nor there. These are the games I've finished. Oh, this way or this way? This way. These are the games I've finished so far in the year of the backlog, knocking off those Metal Gear games. I finished Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake this week on the MSX. The MSX was it was a home computer that was kind of NES quality, but a little better because it was a home computer. Uh, and
Okay, that makes more sense. I listened to last week's and I was like, "Wait a minute. So there's NES games, but there's also MSX games." So I was trying to,
Yeah,
like,
Mm,
Metal Gear
differentiate
the
that.
first 2 Metal Gear games were released for MSX, and then they made an NES version of those in North America. Well, they made an NES version of the first one in North America, and it was just bad. It was not, and it didn't have Hideo
Okay,
Kojima's involvement, and it wasn't that they changed the story up.
okay,
So the
okay.
MSX version is like the canon one. And
I
then
get you.
America got a sequel called Snake's Revenge that is not canon. He also had no involvement in that at all. The
Okay.
actual sequel is the one that I finished this week, which is Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake on the MSX. And it's one of those sequels that like quietly did everything right and then got overlooked for years, probably because it's not available in North America or it wasn't until recently. Um, Came out in 1990. It dramatically like expanded the ideas of the original game with like smarter AI, more
Mhm.
detailed environments, stronger focus on story and character. And I was just like blown away by how much Metal Gear Solid is basically on PlayStation, like the Metal Gear Solid is basically a remake of Metal Gear 2. There's so many reused story elements. Like the opening is almost the same, where get in and like you have codec conversations about whether you're going to go in the front door or go in the air vents. Like you've got multiple entry points. Um, the guards can hear footsteps now. Track your last known position. It's got deeper codec conversations. There's a part in both games where there's a key that is actually 3 keys because you have to cool it down to change the shape, and then you have to heat it up to change the shape. That's in both games. Um, uh, there's in both games a section where you're running up a spiral staircase while enemies are chasing you to get up to the roof. There's a thing in both games where you get in an elevator and there's 4 guys with stealth camo in there and they attack you, kind of like Winter Soldier, way before then. Um, and there's a part in both games where there's a female character disguised as an enemy soldier that you have to meet in the women's bathroom because she's the only woman, so nobody will interrupt you in there. Um, so yeah, a lot of, and I'm sure there's stuff I'm forgetting. Just a lot of reused elements from Metal Gear 2 to Metal Gear Solid. It's like, I mean, obviously a final boss battle with Metal Gear, which the original game technically didn't have. You kind of like disarm Metal Gear in the original one. You don't really fight it. You just like put mines at its feet before it can turn on. It's weird. Um So yeah, you actually fight Metal Gear in this one and then in Metal Gear Solid. So I don't know. It's just I love seeing those like missing pieces. You know what I mean? Like you play games
Yeah.
like this and you're like, oh, I totally see how they made such a banger on the PlayStation now because they had this as a blueprint to work with. So
Is
it's
it a
just
pretty lengthy game for what it was on?
Not really. Because all the Metal Gear games are short and I finished it in about 6 hours and
Okay.
I'm almost done with Metal Gear Solid already and that only took me 8 hours. So all these Metal Gear games are just like they're designed for you to replay them because it's just like I think I compared it to this before. It's like Resident Evil where each playthrough you get like a different thing to use on your next playthrough. So, like, they really bake in that they want you to play these games more than once. Um,
I feel like maybe
and
Metal Gear 4 being so long, like, kinda
yeah,
seeped into my like, memory of the other Metal Gears,
well,
thinking
because
they're
like
all
at
these
the
really long
time
games.
they were pitching Metal Gear 4 as the final one. And like they were almost positive that that was going to be the last game. And it kind of was. Like we got Phantom Pain, which had a lot of like development problems, and we got spin off games. But as far as like actual Metal Gear on a console, that was like the last like big one until Phantom Pain way later. But yeah, and it is longer. And I would also say out of all of them, Metal Gear 4 is probably the least designed around replaying it. So there you go. They were like, all right, we're not going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
replay
okay.
this one. We can make it longer.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I mean, now that you've played these 2, do you think they're worth checking out, or are they very just of the time and it's just kind of a curiosity?
No, yeah, if you like Metal Gear Solid, absolutely check out Metal Gear 2. The first one I would say isn't completely necessary, but Metal Gear 2, it's like it's a really cool. It's almost like somebody did a demake and like made Metal Gear Solid for the NES. It's like just a really cool thing to see. Um, I would recommend people if you're a Metal Gear fan and you know you're thinking about the collection, I'd recommend you play that at least. You could skip the first one unless you really need to know what happened.
Nice.
So that was that. Harrison, what else we got this week?
Nintendo Switch Online, they added 2 Game Boy games. They added Yoshi for Game Boy, uh, which was also on NES, and they added Balloon Kid, which I think a lot of people forget about Balloon Kid,
I'd
because
never heard of it till like it dropped. Like
y
these were just random additions, right? There was no fanfare. It's like, hey, Game Boy,
Yeah,
here's more.
this was the
right.
Okay.
version of Yoshi I played growing up though, so eventually we'll do it in the spotlight. We'll do like another catch up of once we have a few more games that match games we've done already. Like if they ever had the NES
Oh,
version of Burger Time. Um,
there we
but
go.
yeah, I like this version of Yoshi. It's the same thing as the NES one. There's
Here are my
zero
notes.
difference.
There we go. Okay, so right, Yoshi, which is another unique part of this is that it is another Game Freak game that comes to the service. We recently did we do the Mario Wario game? What other Game Freak games did we do recently?
I don't,
Wario's Woods or whatever. Are
Game
you talking about? Hold
we
on. I'll
we
oh,
did
Mario and Wario.
we
No, I
did
don't think we've done that
no,
yet.
the Mario and Wario we haven't done, but no, it was added. It was added back in
Yeah,
October, I think. So we talked about it.
yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's what it
You
was.
see,
Yeah.
this is the problem with doing this is that we talk about the NSO games when it comes out, and then we review it, and then I forget. So, listeners, excuse me. We did Mario Wario. The other one we did was Pulse Man, which was also done by Game Freak.
Oh, yeah, that was Game Freak.
We
Yep.
now have Yoshi, which was the third, yeah, I'll say the third game that was done for a Nintendo console, and it was the first one that was a Nintendo IP. The ones before that are Smart Ball and Mendel Palace, which I've never played before. Also a puzzle game. Yoshi is it's like I don't know. I don't think it's that much fun. I think if you
I
can
See,
I like it.
yeah, I kind of like it, but I'd much like if you had the option of playing like Tetris and Dr. Mario. I
oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
I'd
me,
absolutely
like
play those.
yeah, I would.
I would put it at number 2. I would play Tetris first for sure, but I would rather play Yoshi than Dr. Mario.
It's
But
fair.
No,
I'm
no.
biased because I grew up with it. So I just have
See,
a very big sentimental attachment.
but now I'm disappointed because if this is just literally the NES game portable, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna really change my opinion on it. So
Yeah. It's the exact same thing, same amount of sprites that can drop. Like the music is different and obviously visuals are a little toned down, but that's
I
the one
think
I grew up with. I had it on Game Boy.
Balloon Kid could be one of those ones that ends up being way better than we expect when it pops up because it just looks simplistic, but I could see that being an actually fun game to play.
Is it in the Balloon Fight series?
It
Is that what
is.
it's a
It
follow-up
is.
to? All right,
It's the
yeah.
next one. And
I was never that into Balloon Fight, so I could totally see it, like Sean said, being better than I expect.
I tried looking up any comparisons. Now, because of course there's tons of games that have different regional names to them, but this
Mm.
one, Balloon Kid, never released in Japan, but in 1992 released as Hello Kitty World under Sanrio as a. It was basically a whole different game. Um, it was like a whole like rehash, I guess.
That's an
I
interesting like difference to go from that to Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty World, it honestly looks like a better game graphically.
Really?
Like it looks brighter, it looks cuter. But perhaps it came out later, so that's the reason why. And they already had the game. But any other? Because I tried looking last night, like, are there any other games that didn't release in a region, but then released as like a completely different game, but a different? You know what I mean? Same
Yeah,
game,
I
but
one
different.
that comes to my mind is Wario Blast, which Wario Blast was a like remake of Bomberman GB
Oh,
for American
yeah.
audiences. Yeah, because America wasn't too big on Bomberman, so they reskinned it as a Wario game and called it Wario Blast. But
Okay, I do remember
it's like
that.
yeah, it's a remake of Bomberman GB, and then they released Bomberman GB 2 over here and called it Bomberman GB. So it gets
Kinda,
confusing
yeah,
because yeah,
yeah. But
I thought Bomberman was pretty popular here. I guess not.
I don't think it's ever been as popular as they've wanted it to be. It
well,
got a
that
few Super Nintendo titles, which we'll talk about maybe later.
well,
But
we were going to
I
talk
don't think
about
they were ever super successful here like they were in
Bomberman.
Japan.
Bomberman was you're bringing up a takeaway from one of my notes from later. You see,
Yeah, I said that's what I said. We'll talk
you
about
want
it
to
later.
separate these things, but then they come up. They want to come up. But anyways, we'll talk about the Bomberman collection later when the partner direct comes up. But anyways, um, right. So interest was my question for this. We are feeling Balloon Kill a little bit. You're nostalgic for
Yeah,
Yoshi.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I don't know if we can pair up Yoshi with any other Game Boy puzzle games.
No, I think I'm just
I'm
gonna
sure we
wait and do a round of
stuff
games
we
that should
didn't
have been
get.
partnered with things, which is what we
Okay.
did last time.
I mean, we haven't done Wario's Woods, right? So maybe we just throw Yoshi with that.
We
Something like
could.
Yeah.
I think I have that partnered with. I don't know. I'd
Oh,
have to look at the list,
oh,
but
and this game also released as Mario and Yoshi in I think it's PAL regions. In other parts of the world, which makes a lot of sense, of course. um,
it does, but it's confusing too, because it's like if it's just a Game Boy version of the NES game, that makes it sound like it's a different game.
I don't know
So
what the NES
Yeah.
version was called. I don't know if that was different also.
possible.
Right. Right. Leave in the
I haven't
comment,
done
guys.
Mario
That's where
Tennis.
my research ends. Um,
Tilt and tumble.
so, so let
So
us
I know we're
know.
gonna jump into the direct, but one thing really stood out to me in it for the better. Like I was thrilled. So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is
Yes.
coming to Switch 2, which we knew.
Mhm.
What I had no idea about is it's getting a physical cartridge and the game is on the cartridge. It's not a download cartridge. It's not a code in a box, which they're doing for Fallout and Oblivion apparently. I'm
I
so
think
happy,
people
but
are kind of
so
overreacting
confused.
on the game tabs there. The majority of games are not a tab, and that's why it stands out every time that there is one. But every time something comes out now, they're like, and it's on the card. And I'm like, yeah, almost all of them are. It's the exception, and that's why people get mad about it.
So I was so happy to because I wanted to play it. Um, I've been hesitant about getting it on my Xbox because it's 100+ gig game on there. So I'm like, oh my god,
Hmm.
I actually can physically own this thing. I don't expect the DLC to also be on the cartridge. That I
Hmm.
expect to be a download. But
I,
the fact that the main game is all on the cart is fantastic. So that sold me on getting it now because I like Indiana Jones and everybody raves about this game and how good it is and how Troy Baker is basically Harrison Ford. So you're not taken out of it in any way. So I was just really happy to see a little bit of a win. Again, also kind of weird because the other stuff they're not putting on actual cartridges, but so I don't know. You guys gonna give Indy a shot on Switch, or is this still not enough to sway you on it?
Once I get a Switch 2, perhaps. But
Okay.
You know me,
yeah.
Sean. I'm not that big on Indiana
I know.
Jones.
I
Yeah, so I'm not into the franchise, so probably not. But I'm glad for the people who do like Indiana Jones, there's a quality game out there because I can definitely see how that's a franchise that, deserves good games.
I think the hope obviously is that maybe we'll just get more indie this way because Harrison Ford it's well past the prime and wisely they
Yeah.
haven't recast him. So I think this is the way to go to continue that IP is to just continue making these type of games. So no, I'm hoping this is the beginning of a thing, and I'm looking forward to actually getting to play it. So I'm very
I've
happy
said the
about all
same
of it.
thing about Ghostbusters. Like not
Yeah,
only should there be an animated movie because it lends itself to great visuals, but video games, like that's a perfect way
yeah.
and they make so few Ghostbusters video games, and every time they make them, they're terrible. Like, to put some time into it and make some good Ghostbusters games.
Yeah, totally.
That one that was called Ghostbusters the Game was really good, so it's possible to make a good one.
I think
But that came out like 20 years ago.
the last two games have just been like multiplayer co-op
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
multiplayer exactly, and I'm like, I like Ghostbusters. Please give me a single player experience again. It doesn't have to be like you get all the actors doing their voices or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's legal reasons why they're not doing stuff, but I don't know. Seems like the perfect opportunity where you could just have someone opening up a new location for Ghostbusters and just have all new characters.
And
yeah, I'm all for it.
oh, there was a Back to the Future game.
There was
Oh
a
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Telltale
Yeah, yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
Telltale.
yeah, 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 yeah. There was Telltale, but I was
I
thinking
heard it
what
was good. I never played that one though.
there should be a different genre of Back to the Future for video game.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Such a
no,
big
I've heard good things about that game. I'm sure
yeah.
it's available too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could get it on on Xbox or PS4. So yeah, it's very available. Anyways,
Perfect.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Another thing that stood out in the direct to me was this Tokyo Scramble, a new IP, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think
Yeah,
we've,
it's new.
yeah.
Mhm.
It looks really cool. You could tell that the pitch for this game was Last of Us in Jurassic Park. Like, there's no way that wasn't
Yeah,
said at some point.
yeah, that makes perfect sense now that you've said that out loud. Yeah, that had to be all they said, and they went, "Okay, but don't call them dinosaurs."
Yeah.
Okay.
What are they? They're like Zeo or something like that. I found that
Xenos or
Xeno.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've read a bunch of people doing their thoughts on this game, and it's just funny how much everyone's avoiding saying the word dinosaur. Um, Also, didn't Horizon have like a mechanical dinosaur thing that you would
That was
were
the whole
avoiding?
thing in
Okay,
that
so that
game.
might be an
They're
influence too.
they're all mechanical dinosaurs in Horizon, so no,
Okay.
I mean, it looks fun. It brought me back to again, it's on my backlog. I haven't beat it because I have that Jurassic Park collection, but it gave me a little nostalgia playing that Super Nintendo game that you just can't, you know, beat traditionally. So, yeah, I don't know. I like that it's entirely stealth based. It's not you're some crazy badass who's gonna kill all the dinosaurs. It's no, you just need to get the hell out of the underground. So I like that, and the way it's implementing the game share is interesting, where people
Yeah.
can control like different aspects of the game.
I
So
texted that to Harrison, I think today is one of the things that really like seeing now that you brought game share up is like Nintendo seems to be fully embracing it. And as someone who,
yeah,
we all grew up in the era of everybody needs to have a copy of the Game Boy game. Everybody needs to have a copy of the DS game in order to link up and play it. Like it's nice to see at least that element kind of seeming to fade away. And it's more like when you would have your friends over and play, but now it's being game shared instead.
yeah, this is definitely a wish list. Probably wait for a sale just because I don't want to start
Yeah.
adding significant amounts of games. But
This is a
no, I
wait to
was
see what the reviews say for sure. Like I can see the potential, but I can also see the potential for them saying this game controls horribly or something and don't bother.
Uh,
Harrison.
so,
I don't know. You were dinosaur guy.
n-
Dinosaur.
I
Yes.
I I'm like I'm a casual dinosaur guy. Like I'm a
Okay.
teacher. I'm an elementary teacher mostly. So you kind of have to be like somewhat into dinosaurs. I think if you're gonna work with that age
Okay.
group. But I'm interested in this game because so Binary Haze. Okay, so this is the same developer that made both of the Ender games, Ender Lilies and Ender Magnolia.
Oh, really?
And both of those games
That's a switch.
right because those are games I've always looked at because they're like 9 out of 10. It's like
Mhm.
96% on Steam, like recommended, you know.
Yeah.
Those are two extreme like very very highly rated games. So when I realized that they're doing this game and it comes out on the 11th, it comes out in 4 days
Yeah.
or 5 days,
Yep,
whatever.
pretty soon.
So that's a part I'm interested in. Now I don't somebody somebody can leave a comment if they know, but is Binary Haze connected to Capcom somehow? Um, but that's what I was trying to figure out. They don't have a Wikipedia for their development, so maybe not. But anyways, um, yeah, both of their Switch games are very highly rated, so that's why I want to check this out. And yeah, stealth, like my heart's not so good for stealth sometimes. I gotta be honest.
Okay, that's fair.
Um, like anytime I like anytime I play like Cyberpunk and there's a stealth mission, it's like I'm
You
always like
just can't.
I'm like always right on the edge, you know? So
Ironically, the developer's actual website says dinosaurs. for the
Ooh,
game. So
nice.
Yeah. Um, so I definitely want to check this game out, and it comes out pretty soon. So yeah, it was cool to see. Like we didn't get the like stealth release that I thought we were gonna get on the direct, but we did get some surprise.
oh yeah,
We
yeah,
did get some surprises, and we did get some surprising demos as well. But yeah, I'll kind of leave it there. Let's talk then a little bit about the rest of the partner direct, and you guys can just cut me off if there's any interest of these games. I'll bring up the big ones I think that need to have been brought up in case anyone didn't see the direct. You probably did, and I'll say the release date as well. Um, that was actually the first takeaway that I had was that you're gonna throw a partner direct. It's not a big deal. Like perhaps we need to have the expectation of like, even though it has the name direct in it, it's more of just a showcase.
Huh.
Because the first thing I noticed is
Yeah,
that you're showing off a lot of games that don't have a release date. The first one,
yep,
Well, I
Orbital.
honestly think they should implement a policy where they don't do a partner direct unless they've already done a Nintendo Direct. Because I did see a lot of comments of confused people saying, where are the Nintendo games? And that would be completely avoided because,
yeah, that's
the
fair.
average person has no idea the difference between any of these things. They're just
Well,
watching video game
I
trailers.
don't know,
So
but sorry.
I was gonna say, if say like 2, 3 days ago we had a Nintendo Direct, those people wouldn't be confused. They'd be like, "Oh, here's just more new trailers."
I
But
don't.
because we haven't had any Nintendo news in forever, they're like, "Where's Nintendo?"
I think right there, it would say that people are going to be confused no matter what. Because then you would assume the regular people, normal people. That's fair. Normal is good. That they would have seen the direct before that. Whereas some people are just tuning, and some people are just opening YouTube and like, what's this?
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of that's the way that I remembered to watch this live is because I
I
opened
definitely
YouTube.
definitely think this one started too strong almost because this Orbitals game you're talking about,
Right, right,
Harrison,
right. So Orbital is
looks
what I was gonna go to
really
first.
good.
So Orbitals looks awesome. It comes out summer
Yeah, like
2026. It
yep,
is a couch co-op game, and it has this like old like 80s anime style. So to me, it's like
yep.
if you're like, do you want to play this or It Takes Two? I would play this for sure. So Orbitals,
This definitely grabbed me way more than any of those other games in that genre have, partly because of the art style.
yeah, and I've been seeing a lot of comments lately about how like, imagine if Nintendo just didn't exist, where would like local co-op be in the video game world right
Uh,
now? And it should be like such a huge thing because it's what we grew up on. Like the reason why most people in our generation love video games is because you sat in a room and you played video games
like,
with other people. But then like it's become almost like, oh yeah, people did that. So that's something just I want to see more of it. So, anyways, they announced a new Captain Tsubasa game. The first one's supposed to be great. So they did a lot of anime type stuff in the beginning.
yeah,
Um,
right at the beginning.
right. Valheim is coming, which came out in 2021. So this is the part that
Okay,
confused me. I checked I checked two different streams. I think
yep.
Nintendo's stream quality was off. Valheim isn't an impressive looking game, but it looked horrible in the trailer. But that is a open world crafting survival craft game that will do extremely well on a Switch console. We'll see how it runs on a Switch One. Hollow Knight free update is cool. I knew it was gonna be free because of that company. I knew it was gonna
Oh,
be
it had to
free.
be.
But it's more is it just graphics, Sean?
It's graphics and frame rate, I think. So, I mean, it wasn't enough for me to be like, "I'm gonna re-download this and play it again," but it's nice to have. So
So companies that spent money on this partner direct, Square Enix, Capcom, Bethesda. Square Enix had a couple of different um, ones on here. Adventures of Elliot was pretty much all but confirmed to come to Switch 2. That will come June 18th. That is a Square Enix game. Looks really nice. And then you
did you
mentioned,
yeah,
yeah,
did the time travel thing intrigue either of you? Because I thought that was kind of a cool idea that you're gonna be going through, like, 4 different time periods in the game.
I think
It
it looks really cool.
did, but at the same time, I was like, I might put this on my wish list, but as you know, I've got like 8 RPGs to play right
Oh,
now,
yeah,
so
yeah,
Right.
it's in
yeah.
the back of the line, but
Including
it did pique my interest.
including other Square Enix RPGs as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, that was all but confirmed. That was the first Square Enix game, Super Bomberman Collection, which I was surprised.
Yep.
Um,
Nice surprise.
like Super Bomberman, like 4, 5, never got re-released on like anything. So
They're
there's
all the same game anyway.
they're
Like,
all the
that's
same
my
game,
criticism of it. Like, I
but but
I there's no
they're
difference. The
they're
you have slightly different odds on power-ups in one game or like the here and there, but they're all the same game. They just keep repackaging the same game.
they added a
Except
boss
that
rush
one
mode.
weird time they made it all edgy and, like, Tron looking, but
Oh, the
yeah, the
reboot,
boss
yeah.
rush yeah, yeah. The boss rush things seem to be really the only, I guess, thing they added that I could see justifying buying the collection. Because way, way back, I had the TurboGrafx Bomberman on Wii, and we used to play that, like, all the time. But, I mean, if you're really into Bomberman, this is awesome because you get the 5 and then I think the 2 NES games.
I think that's why I'm kind of frustrated because I do like Bomberman. It's just like in small doses because like I could never be like get this collection and be like I'm going to play through Bomberman and then Bomberman 2 and then Bomberman 3. It's like once I played
Yeah,
through one Bomberman, I'm like I'm good for a year.
Yeah.
that's fair.
I think it's a very small audience, but it's the online space, so you're always gonna find that group that's like, "Oh, yeah, like, finally I can play this game conveniently," you know?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah, but I was kinda surprised to see it in this showcase, but whatever. Uh, Final Fantasy Rebirth, June 3rd. Um, Playing it portable,
Were
I
you
think.
surprised by how quick they're releasing that, or does that just seem normal?
I'm surprised.
What do you mean?
Well, because the first
Oh,
part
you mean
just came
close to
out,
the other one. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I was going to
and
say it's
then
been
I
out
mean,
for a
I'm
while, Sean.
no,
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 you
I was just
I get what you mean
surprised
now.
that within the same year, they're like, "Well, here's the other part," and then I know the speculations the 3rd part will release on everything at the same time, so I don't know if that's a
It is Final
factor or
Fantasy, though. Like, Final
I
Fantasy
think they
kinda
know that the audience is like gonna the people who are gonna buy it are gonna buy it. Like the fact that they're close together isn't gonna hurt them.
I mean, I think price point wise, like the 50, I know that's 10 more, but I also think it's a bigger game, but like they're spot on all that stuff and
yeah.
not trying to like, up it by so much each time. I know space wise, if you're
Mm.
getting both of these, that's almost half your space on your Switch. But
That's true.
no, I was
They
just
need a
curious.
terabyte card. Come on, Nintendo.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is very true. So that was a big announcement. But it plays on a Series S, so I expect it to be fine. However you are playing it, it's gonna be super cool to see it on there. I'm happy that we got to see at least one of the like the big predictions. But we were expecting it. Uh, Pragmata already has a demo out now. It's a Capcom game that is out April 24th. Switch 2 only, not on Switch 1. Um, and yeah, I was surprised that they released a demo the same day. Um,
I
So
was, but I'm glad they did it, but the trailer kinda creeped me out. I don't know, just something was unsettling about it the more they were explaining it. I'm like,
I was very
I
confused by the
don't know."
trailer. I was very confused by that. But yeah, Capcom big name demo out. Next was Turok Origins, no release date, but fall 2026. Looks really, really good. I'm not a fan of this
It
franchise, but the Turok Origins, which
I
I don't think has a
didn't
release
realize
date
it
on
had a
anything yet, but
yeah, I didn't realize it has a multiplayer component to it, so that kind of intrigued me more,
yeah.
I didn't
but
know until just last year. Here's an interesting trivia for Turok. It's a legacy name. Like it's not the same character in each game. There are multiple Turoks, like Link.
oh, yeah, yeah, because yeah, I forget when I knew that, but, I mean, Turok's overdue for another go. I know that
Yeah.
reimagining didn't go so great last time, but no, I'm intrigued on it based just off the multiplayer aspect. Because again, if they're gonna
I
be
wonder if somebody new has the rights because they've really been pushing Turok lately. Like they made those remakes and then they put them on Nintendo Classics and now they got a new game coming out. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like if there was like a like when you check the Google search history, like there's like a big spike in Turok in the last like 2 years.
But with their love of game share, I'm like, that could be cool if only one of us has it and you wanna do multiplayer and so, yeah, I don't know. That's a maybe for me
Yeah.
based off the trailer.
Right. Digimon story Digimon Storytime Stranger. I knew I was gonna mess that up. Comes out July 10th. Pretty soon after. It's like maybe a year since it'll be released. So it
Oh,
came
yeah,
out
okay.
quicker than the other Digimon games on Switch. And this one I've had my eye on for a while. I know it's gonna be $70. It wouldn't be a $70 game for me, but it looks really awesome. It might be the best, it might end up being the best like game in that genre, which is weird, and just like with how litigious Nintendo is, there's an awful lot of monster collecting games on their systems, so that's interesting. Monster Hunter Stories 3, March 13th. There's a demo out for that now. Um,
Yep.
I I thought it was funny watching Resident Evil Requiem. Uh, did I put? There's no release for that yet.
End of the month.
I forgot that um you can't put like any kind of gore or blood or
Yes.
anything. The whole
So
as it Resident Evil Requiem is just like them like going up to the people, but like never ever like initiating combat or anything. So I
so
was
I
like,
definitely noticed it 'cause all the previews I've seen from other people on other versions are like, "This is like the bloodiest Resident Evil we've ever played."
yeah,
It's just funny that they're like, "And we're gonna cut away now." Alright
right.
then, something not so nice happened right there. So yeah, it was really funny that they even bothered to put it in. I probably more 'cause I'm glad it's getting a developer voice video. So that was exciting to finally see that again because they
Mhm,
were doing those pretty frequently and then they just went away. So
right.
looking forward to seeing that. I'll probably eventually play it. It's not going to be a launch thing for me because I've been enjoying at least 7 and 8. I know this is going to be different from those, but it was nice to see it. And Capcom clearly really liking the Switch too. So all for
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. They were featured in the middle and kind of towards the end, so definitely spent the money on it. And then yeah, Bethesda, because we already mentioned Indiana Jones and there was a sizzle reel. Uh Bethesda, there's Fallout 4. Now Fallout 4 I thought looked incredibly rough, but maybe that's just because it's an older game. Like maybe that's just because that's just how Fallout 4 looks, I don't know. Or maybe it was the presentation and the trailer, the whole maybe the graphics were messed up. I don't know. But no surprise, we're getting Fallout 4 February 24th, so it comes out this month. And then the last announcement was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which also wasn't a surprise. I would pick this up, but I
Yep.
probably would wait to see how the release goes. I probably would get
Oh,
it on
yeah, I
sale because it'll be on sale eventually.
I was surprised by it, but just because I don't know, I felt like they would have kept it on Xbox solely for a little longer, just to kind of like get people to stay there, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's really hard for me to give it a go only because I just play around in Skyrim and then I'm like, I don't really need another Elder Scrolls. I think I'm all right.
I
So I guess if I'd never got into Skyrim, Oblivion would have had a better shot. So
Yeah, I would like to play through Morrowind. Like I like to play through Elder Scrolls 3
Mm,
at some point because like I just know people around me that's like that tell me it's like one of the best games ever. But yeah, and then that was the last announcement for the evening, and I think this is where people were like, "Oh, that's it." But overall, I it didn't we didn't get like the Baldur's Gate 3 like announcements or like some of the ones that or like we didn't see anything from like Dustbloods or anything like that. Um but overall, I think it might have been kind of where I thought it would be as far as announcements goes and yeah, just those shadow drops, which is what I was expecting. I thought something would come out the same day. So, those were
just bummer, man.
those were all the other big. Oh, that was okay. All right.
Yeah, that
Um.
was the shadow drop. It was Bomberman. So,
Okay. Bomberman Shadow Drop.
Boom.
Excuse me, then. All right. So now we're caught up. So let's move ahead.
Yeah, Sean's got this next topic here about the console classics, which is something I think more people should be talking about. And I don't think they made a big enough focus about what this actually is. I've finally found some place online to confirm it. It's a bad name because every time all I'm trying to search console classics and like, is this a new branding? Is this what is this? It just keeps directing me to Nintendo
Nintendo.
Classics, which is what they're calling Nintendo Switch Online now. So console classics and Nintendo Classics, you're too close, and you gotta. If this really is supposed to be like a new virtual console type thing, you got to get out and ahead of it because it's. I've only found like one article mentioning it as that.
So it was kind of sandwiched in the direct, and the way they presented it was confusing because they've been doing arcade classics for a while, which there's a
Yeah,
ton of those on there. So this is their other branding is console classics. So the way they rolled it out is confusing. But yeah, it basically seems like this is going to be the virtual console adjacent. I don't really want to say replacement,
yeah, no.
but it's
I doubt
launching with
Nintendo
cool.
will be putting their first party titles on there. They're gonna save them for Switch, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
so it's going to be a mixed bag probably of releases. Cool Borders, which was weird because I always associate that with PlayStation. But Cool Borders and Ninja Gaiden 2, the NES game, are the ones available right now. I'm just kind of hoping it's going to maybe bring back some games you forgot about or that are
Hmm.
possibly trapped on a system that you can't play anymore. I'm optimistic, but I'm going to have to see what else gets added to it because it could just become a dumping ground of just a lot of, games no one cares about. So
The
this is one
prices
I'm
are all
gonna have
over the
to.
place too. Like some are
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
some are 12, some are like so that's interesting.
So we'll have to see where it goes, but it was nice to at least something where you if you really want to own some of these games you're able to.
Mhm. It's also one thing that separates it from Virtual Console for sure is it's also available on PlayStation. They're doing this on the PlayStation Store as well. So kind of a weird cross
Yeah.
system thing going on. It's just like, I don't know, it's like a branding thing. Time will tell if this develops into something where you're like, oh, they got a lot of great games in console archives, or if,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's just a dumping ground.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's weird. That's very confusing. It's confusing to me, and like I like pay attention kind of.
Yeah. Like I said, I tried forever to just find anybody writing about this because I'm like, is this supposed to be like virtual console type deal? Like even slightly? And I only found one article by, let me see if I can find it.
VGC.
Ars Technica is the name of the website.
I've been scrolling. I've found a few, but the only one that I know I know of is VGC. Is the only one that has
hmm.
written about it that I've actually heard of. Everything else,
It's and it was really
yeah.
weirdly worded. Like they put it in the direct like we were supposed to already know what it was. They were like,
Mhm,
Yeah,
and they didn't even say like and coming. They were like and being added to,
mhm.
as though we already had this thing.
yeah, yeah. They definitely rolled it out odd.
Yeah, there's a bit of a disconnect there, but
Hmm.
perhaps I think Nintendo figures it out throughout this life cycle. I do. I have a lot of optimism with all of this. Um, there were some weird parts to
I don't
this
know if this
Nintendo
has
Direct.
anything to do with Nintendo other than it going on their eShop.
No, I think it. No, it does.
So yeah,
It does. They're the ones that control what goes up
yeah.
on their channel. It totally does.
No, but I mean like I
Like
don't think they're behind any of the like I don't think they're picking the games or
they're
anything.
picking the messaging. They're picking the messaging,
That's true.
but like the release dates, whatever. They can't control that. I understand that, but they can't control how they put up um things on their channel. So
Yeah.
that's it. Wow, okay. Very confusing.
Yeah, they needed another note there. Another pass. Another what the heck is this thing? The other thing that I think we should talk about this week is Mario Tennis Fever is coming out on Thursday.
Oh,
So,
Oh
a
wow.
game that I said on this pod I was going to buy day one that I've changed my mind on a few times. It's like
Okay.
I'm still I'm still a maybe on this one. Like I'm still like we'll see what people say when it comes out. There was like a extended preview that I guess we didn't get to see that was uh a bunch of different websites were writing about it, and they didn't seem blown away by it. They didn't criticize it much, but they didn't seem blown away by it. This is the seventh Mario Tennis game since the Nintendo 64. Um, and I feel like none of them have really been what you'd expect from a Mario sports game. Like in terms of reception, they all seem to be like B or C tier range. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash on the Wii U was a very bare bones experience. Barely, there was, I think, 12 playable characters in it, so not a lot. And just kind of basic tennis. And then Mario Tennis Aces on Switch got a bunch of updates before people said it was what it basically should have been when it launched. Um, I don't know. I really thought the story mode of this was going to be like an interesting twist, but it doesn't seem like people were that impressed. They're just like, this is more Mario than tennis. Um, I don't know.
which is pretty much every Mario game, every Mario
Yeah.
Tennis game besides the first one. This one will start out with 32 characters, so I think they've clearly have learned some things from Mario Tennis Aces. Like perhaps there wasn't as
Yeah.
much interest in the end that people really thought. I don't think Nintendo understands how to do a. I mean, if live service is what they're intending on trying to do, I don't think they understand that
I
model.
gotcha.
So, uh, I think Aces, for me, it was never the content. It was, well, it was kind of the content because I thought the adventure story mode was no good. but I always thought it was too convoluted. Like there's like it feels like Smash Brothers when you just turn on everything sometimes. Um,
Well, that's what a lot of this Fever stuff looks that way. They have like a bazillion rackets and like
right, right.
I think they
So
said like 12 different play modes and stuff. So I'm like, even
that's
I'm like, "Ew."
That's the question that I had that's what I have questions about because I would much prefer to have like something where like I have incentives to gain progress and unlock things
Mhm.
and hey throw a couple like I'm not asking for in-app purchases but throw a couple of packs in there, throw a couple of random what am I looking for? You open the chest and you get a new racket, a new character, and it's random, right? Anyways,
Yeah, like have the stuff there, but have it that you earn it by playing it, not
yeah,
just you open the thing up and it's like, bam, here's 30
yeah,
plus characters, and it's like, whoa, okay.
and
Yeah, I guess focus is kind of what the sports games have lacked lately.
30 unique Fever rackets. That's a lot.
right, it's like almost one for like each
Yeah.
character that you'll have. So
And like Mario, how many power-ups are in Mario Kart? Certainly not 30.
yeah,
No.
I just have a lot of questions on what keeps me engaged because the reason why I
Mm,
think we're talking about this also is that like IGN had a hands-on preview of this. I have a lot of questions on what actually keeps me engaged in this game because if it's just tennis, like if it's just like pick your character, pick your racket, and play a game, then I think I'm not really that interested in it. I'm just I would love to see a Mario like I think the Game Boy version of it was the closest that we had, but like an RPG style Mario sports game. That would keep me engaged for um a really long time,
longer,
and
yeah.
it would give me a sense of like I'm actually doing something. That's just what the last Mario Tennis game lacked, and I don't know, but interesting note: Waluigi came out debuted in Mario Tennis in on
Yep.
N64, and now Waluigi is debuting in this game.
No, you
So
got to get it and keep it a sealed copy because you know there's going to be the baby Luigi craze, the baby Waluigi craze.
right.
Too many baby characters.
Be great if baby Waluigi got added to the next Smash, but not Waluigi because people have wanted him so long.
With
We get like
Yeah,
a
I mean this one I expect there to be a demo, but I got bored with the demo of Aces. So
That's a
yeah,
good
and
I
point.
just
Hopefully,
got
there's a demo. Then I can make up my
this is
mind.
gonna have a really like make me want to play it down because that's the thing too. Like Harrison said, like if you're gonna get this, you're gonna want to play it, not occasionally it gets dragged out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we played a ton of Mario Tennis on 64, and there
Yep.
wasn't a ton of anything to that game. There were some characters, and
it was just
you
a
could change the court.
but it was focused on the actual tennis game
Yeah,
to where this
yeah.
is like I don't know what the actual focus of this game is. And I heard concerns about the physics of it, like the ball, like in the previews, they said the ball felt kind of floaty, but there are supposed to be settings to turn all of those things off. So I think on the preview they didn't have controls of those settings. So I expect all of those concerns to go away too. So I do think they will make improvements. I just don't think it will be for me yet because I just haven't seen a Mario sports game that it's like, yeah, that's gonna be $70 because they're gonna keep supporting it or there's gonna be a good story or something else. But um,
Year of the backlog, so it's gonna be really good to get me to add to the backlog.
yeah. I I had two quick ones. Was there any other segments we had today?
Just
Nope.
Spotlight.
Yeah, Spotlight.
All
What do we
right
have for
then.
time?
So so the gauntlets are fast. So we'll do those. Now, we didn't do this in the pre-show, which I mentioned, which I wanted to do, but I have two gauntlets for us today. One is serious, one is kind of dumb. So one of you has to pick which one. We're starting with the Mario Gauntlet. So Kevin or Sean, who's getting the Mario Gauntlet?
I
Sean.
think Kevin should do them. You want me to do it? All
Yeah.
right, I'll do it. You can do the dumb one.
Okay, the Mario Gauntlet. All right, stepping into the gauntlet, and we haven't done this in a while. This is kind of Kevin's thing, but I give you two games. Whatever game you pick goes on to the
Okay.
next round. All right, so
Oh, okay.
all right, so you pick, and then we go on to the next round, starting with Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers 3.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World or Super Mario 64.
Mario World. My God, that's easy.
Okay. Super Mario World or Super Mario Sunshine.
Gonna go with World. I've never gotten through Sunshine. I can't give it a fair shake.
Super Mario World, New Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, Super Mario Galaxy.
Mario World.
Super Mario World, Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Mario World again.
Super Mario World, Super Mario Odyssey.
And Odyssey needs to dethrone it.
Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World.
Odyssey.
And Odyssey
Yes.
wins. Odyssey wins.
I
We
really,
don't
really like Super Mario World, and I really like Super Mario 3, but Odyssey really might be the best
it
Mario
probably is
game.
it probably is the best Mario game. It probably is. It probably is. All right. Okay. Um all right, Kevin. All right, Kevin. So since you wanted Sean to have the Mario Gauntlet, you get the bread gauntlet. You get the bread one. All right, Kevin, you're entering the bread gauntlet. I wish I had a sound effect for this, like an oven door shutting or something. I don't know. All right, this would be tough for me. I love bread. Garlic bread or croissant?
Garlic bread. I think we're starting too strong.
We're starting really strong. Garlic bread or a bagel?
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread or toast?
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread or sandwich bread?
Ooh.
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread or dinner rolls?
Do like dinner rolls. Yeah, I'm gonna go with dinner roll.
Okay.
No?
Now I have to be clear on this next one. We're all Americans. Dinner rolls or biscuits, and I do mean the American biscuits. We're not talking about like the British, you know.
Dinner
We're still
roll.
doing bread here.
No rubber biscuit?
What, Kevin, what do you say?
I said dinner roll. Sorry.
Dinner roll or flatbread? Pita, naan.
I don't like flatbread, so I'm going with dinner roll.
Dinner roll or cornbread?
Cornbread.
Cornbread or English
No.
muffin?
Cornbread.
And cornbread wins. All right. All right.
Number
Now,
9's
all
Savage.
right, guys. Now, final round. Cornbread versus Super Mario Odyssey. That would be tough,
Well,
actually.
they both have
Yeah.
corn.
That would be tough. If you invited me over for both, I would be pumped. I'd be like, let's go. All right.
Red Mario Odyssey. It's a new thing.
Okay, so our spotlight this week is Alien Soldier for the Sega Genesis. Alien Soldier, it's one of those games that feels less like a commercial product and more like a dare. It was developed by Treasure and released late in the Genesis's life cycle. Throws out nearly every convention of the era's action platformers. There's no traditional level structure, almost no platforming in the usual sense, and barely any breathing room. Instead, the game is built almost entirely around boss fights, screen filling, hyper aggressive encounters that demand total focus. You play as Epsilon Eagle, a shape shifting super soldier with a deep arsenal of weapons, fighting at a blistering pace that still feels extreme even by modern standards. From its surreal sci fi imagery to its punishing difficulty, Alien Soldier immediately signals it's not interested in being friendly or approachable. What makes Alien Soldier so enduring is how confidently weird and uncompromising it is. The controls are complex, the movement system is fast and slippery, and the game expects you to master weapon swapping, mobility, and positioning almost immediately. There's a strange beauty to how precise everything feels once it clicks, though. Everything, every hit feels earned, every victory hard fought. Its cult status comes from that intensity. It's a game that rewards obsession and repetition, not casual play. In a library full of mascot platformers and safer action titles, Alien Soldier stands out as a raw expression of Treasure's create uh, design philosophy, creative, brutal, and completely unconcerned. Man, I should have proofread this with mass appeal.
So before we started recording, I started the opening credit scroll of Alien Soldier, and it is still going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
that was it.
holy crap, that game has like Star Wars level crawl at the beginning. Didn't realize it had that much going on. No, we can all agree the game is gorgeous. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, late for a late Genesis game, they're really showing that uh, technology had evolved.
And I didn't realize you were supposed to be like a bird person until I let the thing go through. But I really like the multi-weapon thing. It was a little confusing, but the idea of it's really cool. Uh, I couldn't get past the first boss. I don't know if you guys fared better on that
No,
front.
no, I
Okay.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I agree with everything you said, and this might be the first game that released originally in English that didn't have a North American release, like that we've reviewed. I mean, it's I can't think of any others because we've done plenty of Japanese games that never got a North American
Mhm.
release. This released in PAL regions in English, but never got a North American release. And overall, I don't think you would call it a follow up to Gunstar Heroes, but absolutely fascinating um, for like the developer to do Gunstar Heroes and then do a game like this. Like Gunstar Heroes definitely a lot more friendly than this.
Oh yeah,
Um
absolutely.
and
Now this I feel like this game's in every Sega Genesis collection, though.
Yeah, remember I
yes.
said that when it got picked, and it really is like they keep releasing that Sega Genesis Classics collection thing, and I always confuse it with Alien Storm because they're
Yep.
together alphabetically. Alien Soldier, Alien Storm. Now I know the difference between the two. Now that I've played it this week.
It took me an hour of playing before I noticed there's a timer for the level. Like, uh, which, as we've said before, I'm not a cozy gamer, but this is arguably one of the most stressful games we've played.
Might be.
Like,
It goes along with what I've said before about that Sega philosophy is Nintendo at the time especially in the Super Nintendo era, was very much like make sure people can continue where they left off. We're going to either give them a password system, or we're going to have save files, or we're going to have something. And Sega's attitude was like, no, it's like the arcade. You get a game over, you start back at the beginning. And it was like a very, I feel like, very divided philosophy on the two systems. But that's the thing that made me not so much a Sega fan growing up, was all their games, it seemed like you had to just master that game, whereas Nintendo, um, you could play a little more casually.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's fair. I would love to see a revival of this one,
Mhm.
like just to see what it would be like. Like I don't know what you would do. I mean, I guess you could keep it 2D and everything, but I'd love to see this come back. And
I don't
this
know.
is the
It's
first time where I talked myself out of using save states because I feel like I would have to save after every single
everything.
hit I got on the boss.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't even be like playing a game anymore at that point. It would be like doing hand drawn animation through my television.
Just doing a big checklist. Yeah. And I've had um there's like games. There was a quest in a game I was playing this week, and it's like one of my favorite games, but there's a certain quest where I have to take out my phone and I have to record it because I can't I can't complete the quest without like breaking it down frame by frame. It's so difficult. But that's like one
Yeah.
particular part of like one big game. I would love to see a revival of this too. I don't know what Treasure is doing, and I don't think anyone does. They haven't released a game since 2014. They announced, and I can't remember, perhaps like
Tax fraud.
the very beginning of this podcast when we started it, we brought it up in 2022. They announced they were working on a highly anticipated game. That's it. Like, but they haven't released a game since the 360, 3DS
They're doing Mega
era.
Man Legends 3 instead of Capcom.
Yeah.
What?
But I don't see why not. And I compare all of our spotlights to roguelikes. I'm gonna compare every run and gun to the Cuphead with
Okay.
the popularity of like shoot 'em ups and run and guns now. Like, why isn't there another like Alien Soldier, or why isn't there
Yeah.
another Gunstar Heroes, or like
Yeah.
I
They
just
seem like very easy games to program, like the renaissance we're seeing of arcade beat 'em ups right now. So
and,
it's very
and
similar.
people, and the reason why it's working now is that people are so desperate to just play games that play well and work well, and it's like you get into the game and you play the game, and it's like you
It's
shoot
in the
that guy.
game.
Why? No, don't ask why, just shoot the guy, right? Like that
Yeah.
that's I think what people are looking for more than ever these days. So, yeah, I don't
Move
think
from
Treasure's
left to
coming
right. Don't let
back.
anything stop you.
I don't think
Yeah.
Treasure is
Yeah.
coming back, but they certainly, like, in their 20 years of making games, made some just huge games. I always love bringing up McDonald's Treasureland Adventure anytime Treasure
Mm.
comes up, when we did like Dynamite Heady or Sin and Punishment. They also did
So good. So good.
the Tiny Toon Adventure game. Um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
they did Wario
So
World. Yeah. Anyways,
this this was tough to rank because I enjoyed it even though I couldn't progress in it. And I don't know if we really had one like that. So I put it at 91. I did like it, but the fact I can't get anywhere in it kind of kills trying to put it higher than that.
I put it
Uh,
at 83 because it is
Oh,
it
okay.
is is really, really impressive. And I'm the same way. I couldn't get past the first part, but so when that happens, I spend time just watching good people play the game. And it's really impressive throughout the. I like all the boss fights in this game. I think they all look just really, really nice.
I put it the lowest of all of us. I have it at number 160. Um,
Okay.
just because I just don't enjoy the type of game where you have to be a slave to the game to eventually conquer it. It's just like I don't know. I don't want to have to replay something 40 times at this age till I master it. So just, not my taste. That's all I'm saying.
You're not a the game plays you type guy.
Sometimes I am. I mean, I told you about that boss I spent 3 hours on a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago. But it has to that can't be the whole game. I can't spend 3 hours on everything I do in the game. And that's what this is to me. So,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, so let's see what we're playing next. Sean, are you
Yeah.
psychic?
Oh
This is
God, what did I do?
so next week we have a combo. We're going to be playing two NES games that Sean has mentioned this week. We're going to be playing Wario's Woods and Mario and Wario. Two Wario. Oh, one's a
Nice,
Super Nintendo game. But okay. Two Wario games. Wario's Woods
Oh,
and Mario and Wario.
nice.
ooh, I'll get to use that mouse functionality finally.
I think they're paired up because they are non-platforming
Wario.
Wario games. Yeah. Exactly. Um
If I remember correctly, Wario's Woods I liked, but I could be wrong.
I remember
So,
Toad is in it for some reason, which is weird to see Toad in a game with no Mario,
Mhm.
but we'll talk about it next time.
oh, maybe you can like punch him or something. That would be good.
I think isn't it a puzzle game? I don't
It is a puzzle game, but let me punch Toad.
know. Okay. All right. Well, thank everybody for listening. Do we have any announcements for the panel network, side panel network?
My episode for Harrison Talk Pod will not come out at the usual time this week because I'm pretty sick actually. So I'm gonna put out something later on in the week and check my daily uploads. I already finished a year of Stardew. Winter comes out today, or yesterday when this episode comes out, and I am starting a Breath of the Wild series on there whenever I can
Mm,
get those edited and put up. Because I needed a reason to play that
okay.
game this year. Although I should play new games. So,
I'm al- I was shocked in my end of year thing with Nintendo. I've almost played 400 hours of Breath of the Wild. It was like 380 something. Crazy.
yeah, yeah, I'm probably pretty close to there. So yeah, that is it for me, and hope you guys have a great
All right.
weekend.
Thank everybody for subscribing, and we'll see you next time. More Nintendo Therapy.